How much weight can one person carry before they break? How many silent tears, how many sleepless nights? How many broken pieces can one heart take? And why? Why is it always her? Is it because she's a woman that the world believes she must carry the weight of everyone else's burdens without question, without rest? When did strength become her punishment? From the moment she's born, the world starts teaching her a silent lesson. Her needs come last. As a little girl, she's told to be good, to care for others, to smile, to be quiet, to make everyone around her comfortable. By the time she's a teenager, she's already managing responsibilities that many adults avoid. She's expected to take care of herself and everyone else, while quietly ignoring her own needs. How many girls are taught that their value lies in what they give, and not in who they are as people? By the time she's an adult, this invisible burden becomes part of her identity. At work, at home, in relationships, she's expected to excel, to nurture, to sacrifice. No one tells her it's okay to ask for help, because the world assumes she can do it all, without complaint, without breaking. When did we start believing that the more she gives, the more valuable she becomes? When did her happiness become optional? This isn't just exhaustion. This is emotional depletion, a quiet kind of pain that never gets acknowledged. She's told she's strong, but when does she get to be weak? When does she get to rest? No one sees the price she pays. Every day, she gives more than she has left to give. She smiles, but inside she's dying. She's carrying so much weight, and no one even knows it. The world praises her for what she carries, but never asks if she's okay. No one sees the woman who's silently breaking, fighting back tears, exhausted beyond measure, but still expected to do it all. How many women wake up every morning, pretending to be okay, while deep down they're drowning in their own silence? She doesn't ask for help. She's been taught that being strong means never showing weakness. So she keeps going, even when she feels like she's falling apart, because asking for help feels like failing. The world assumes she's fine, so she keeps carrying it all. Everyone else's expectations, their needs, their problems, while slowly losing herself. When did we start seeing her as an empty vessel, meant to pour out endlessly, until there's nothing left, and no one ever stops to ask when she'll be refilled? This isn't just exhaustion. It's a quiet, crushing pain. It's the constant ache of giving without ever receiving. She's giving everything, her time, her love, her energy. And no one even asks if she's okay. No one sees that she's empty, that she's barely holding it together. Because the world only sees what she can do for others, not what it costs her. But there are those rare souls who truly see her. To the ones who don't just look at her and expect, but understand that she's not just a caregiver or a strength to be admired. She is a person, with her own needs, her own heart. They see the weight she carries, and instead of letting her bear it alone, they say, "You don't have to do this by yourself." To the ones who show up when she's too tired to ask, who don't demand perfection, who understand that strength doesn't mean carrying the world alone. You are everything. You are the reason she can breathe, the reason she can find hope again. These are the true supporters, the ones who make the impossible seem possible. They remind her that her worth is not in her sacrifices, but in her humanity. To those who lift her when she's too exhausted to stand, who offer a hand when she's drowning, who listen without judgment, who remind her she is allowed to be both strong and fragile. Thank you. From the deepest part of her heart, thank you. For too long, society has expected women to carry burdens they were never meant to bear alone. It's time to act. Women are not meant to be unbreakable. They are human. They deserve care, rest, and respect, not just for what they give, but for who they are. When did we start believing that women should do it all, without help, without rest? Why do we keep asking them to carry the weight of the world, without considering the toll it takes? Why do we still fail to see that no one, no matter how strong, can carry the world's weight without breaking? Why is it so hard for us to recognize that even the strongest need space to be vulnerable, to be seen, to be human? The change begins now. We need a world where women's worth is not tied to their sacrifices, where asking for help isn't a weakness, but a strength. So how do we change this? It begins with us. We must stop glorifying sacrifice and start valuing balance. Women need space to breathe, to rest, without carrying the world's weight. When we share the load, whether at home, at work, or in relationships, we allow her to be more than just the strong one. We allow her to be human. But it doesn't stop with us today. We must teach the next generation, raise boys and girls to understand that strength isn't about doing it all alone, but about sharing, supporting, and lifting each other up. Boys need to learn that true strength is in empathy, respect, and equality. Girls need to know they don't have to sacrifice their well-being to prove their worth. It's about listening. Really listening. No more assuming she can handle it all. We need to ask, how can I help? And show her that we see her, not just as a provider of strength, but as a person deserving of care and rest. Change isn't just a movement. It's the beginning of real change. If we want a world of equality, it begins now. It starts with each of us doing our part to lift her, not take from her. The moment for change is here. Women are not meant to carry the weight of the world alone. We can't wait for someone else to act. The responsibility starts with us. Men, ask yourself, when did you last stop to think about the silent burden she's carrying? It's not enough to just see her do it all. What will you do to share the weight? Women, pause and reflect. When did you last ask yourself if you're okay? You're allowed to rest. Your value isn't in your sacrifices. You are enough. And as parents, think about this. Are we teaching our children to step up and share the load, to support each other, and to understand that no one should carry it all alone? Look around. What action can you take to lighten her load? Whether it's offering a helping hand, listening with empathy, or respecting her need for rest, every step matters. Women give endlessly, but they deserve to receive, rest, and be cared for. Will you step up and share the burden? Or will you let her continue carrying it alone until she breaks? Now is the time to change. Now let's hear from you. What if we all shared the load? Should women continue to bear the weight alone? Or is it time for everyone to step up and make a change? Comment below and share your thoughts. For more topics that challenge your perspective and inspire change, like, share, and subscribe to June and Journey for more.